Bueno, bienvenidos, buenos días, buenas tardes, buenas noches. Estamos aquí con la muy fabulosa, la excelente bailarina y única, la maestra Desiree Woodward Lee, que nos estará acompañando el día de hoy para compartirnos información muy preciada, muy valiosa, que te va a ser de mucha utilidad para ti que eres bailarina. Ya tuvimos la oportunidad de platicar con alguien acerca de música, entonces el día de hoy vamos a platicar de la danza. Vamos a platicar de la danza, vamos a compartir información. También les vamos a poder compartir dónde la van a poder encontrar, cuál es el nombre de su academia. Ya nos lo pasó algunas semanas anteriores el señor Desiree Lee, pero el día de hoy lo van a poder checar en los links en la parte de abajo. Antes de iniciar, lo repito, el cierre de la semana pasada, hay botones arriba, hay botones abajo, a la izquierda y a la derecha. Por favor, pícale a todo, dale seguir, dale compartir. Dale dislike, dale like, no importa, al algoritmo le encanta eso, entonces por favor ayúdanos para que este podcast pueda llegar para más personas. Y sin más por el momento, daremos inicio a esta entrevista. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night to everybody. I don't know what time it is, the time you're listening to this, but tonight we have the amazing opportunity to be sharing some talking with the wonderful, the delightful,
and unique,
Mrs. Desiree Woodward Lee. Welcome with us. Here we are, Marco Marquez and Luis Gama, the host with you, and thanks again for sharing this amazing moment with us. Welcome.
Thank you. Yaorana.
Thank you. And please introduce yourself. Tell us who Desiree Woodward Lee is.
Yaorana. Hello everyone. My name is Desiree Woodward Lee. I am the Ra'atira Pupu dance instructor for Ohinaro Nui in San Francisco. And I'm born and raised a dancer in my family, and I'm just continuing traditions.
That's wonderful.
And talking about that, where are you from?
I'm originally from Hawaii, Oahu, on the windward side, or as we call it, the wet side of the island. It rains a lot.
Oh, okay. We don't know them, unfortunately.
One day, hopefully.
One day,
yeah.
One day we will.
We can dream, right?
Yeah.
And moved to San Francisco, been there for almost 20 years.
Almost. Oh.
And what do you like more from there?
From San Francisco?
Yeah. No, from your
home?
Yeah.
Just the comfort of life and being able to have your family nearby, your friends, the beach, all of those things that I miss growing up with.
How does it feel to be so far away from there?
It's hard, and it's harder with the pandemic, but with technology, thankful for technology, that we can video chat with family and my parents and my daughter's grandparents, so I'm thankful for that, but hopefully we can make it a better trip to go back.
Okay, that's amazing. What do you do, how do you share your culture at your place at San Francisco? Are you a teacher? Are you a dancer? Are you both? Are you a drummer? How do you live the Ori Tahiti life?
I started Ori Tahiti life a lot later in my years. I started in 2004, 2005 as a dancer, and I continued that until 2016, and that's when I opened, or my husband and I opened Ohinaro Nui, and that's when I began officially teaching a school, and so I've been doing that since 2016, but I still dance, even currently, teach and dance at the same time.
That's awesome. And you're also a mother.
Oh, thank you. Yes, I am a mother. Somewhere in my life, birth happened.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
Yeah, I don't know.
She has the most beautiful kid in the world, who calls me Uncle, well, Tio Luis.
Tio Luis.
Tio Luis.
Yes.
That's me. We have seen an important growth of Polynesian culture in the past few years, not only in Mexico, but I'm talking about Mexico. We're at Guadalajara right now, but we have seen this important growth of your culture. What do you think is thanks to what is this growth of your culture? How do people know about your culture? I mean, in the past weeks, Mr. Lee have told us just like that. Tahiti is a dot in the map, so as Hawaii. And what do you think? How do you think your culture is being known here in Mexico and America as well?
I think for the Tahitian culture, which is, it's not my culture by blood, but more of a culture that has adopted me into it. I think the growth has happened because the generations have grown in Tahiti, and the people who are now teaching are experiencing the need for their culture to be shared correctly. And so that, I believe, has helped an expansion of Ori Tahiti, and Tahiti itself opening its doors to international dancers to allow them into the school or conservatoire or other Ori Tahiti schools, allowing international people to come and share with them. Before, I don't know how many years, maybe before 2008, that wasn't common.
Yeah.
If you had the opportunity, you had it because somebody invited you in.
Yeah.
Now it's more accessible, and I think that has helped the culture progress and evolve to all these places, the US, Mexico, Japan.
And how do you see your culture, Ori culture, in 5 or 10 years in the future?
Oh, that's a good question.
Thank you.
We know that now.
I can see that it will blossom into a bigger genre, that it will be more publicly known, hopefully more respected, appreciated, and understood. I hope that in 5 years, it's not just the surface of meaning like Ori Tahiti is just the coconut bra and skirt.
Yeah.
That it's more, it's the language, the reo, it's the lifestyle of the people. I believe in 5 years, I hope everyone has that opportunity.
What would you like to share with people so they can know more about your culture?
For sharing for Ori Tahiti, I believe for myself, just from experience in the culture adopting me, the one thing I believe that that is important is to allow yourself to be amongst the local people. If you're given that opportunity to go to Tahiti, of course, you would love the hotel life because it's beautiful, but take an opportunity to connect with a family or a Tahitian person and have them open. They normally will open their home, but instead of wanting it, if it happens, absorb it. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah. Lots of.
So that's one thing I definitely recommend. Know the people. Know the people. Don't just go because you want to dance.
Yeah.
Don't just go because you want to drum. Go because you want to know how the people live. And that has changed, not just for me, but for many other people that I have, like my students that I have brought to Tahiti. That has changed their vision or their expectation of what Tahiti is.
Yeah.
Like the traditions of the people there.
Yes.
Okay. And we know that it's part of your lifestyle, but when is the exact moment that you decide to get into the dancing? At what age?
For Ori Tahiti?
Yeah.
Ori Tahiti was it was like an accident. For me,
I was walking by.
Not too far. I'm born and raised a hula dancer. It's in my family's legacy. It's what I've been brought up in. I did a little bit of Ori Tahiti through school, but not serious.
Yeah.
And when I say by accident, My husband Chris was already in San Francisco a year before I moved.
Oh, okay. So you weren't moved together?
No, because I was still finishing college.
Oh, but you knew each other?
Yes, we were together the entire time. So he had already found a school that he was drumming with, and when I moved, I would meet him or pick him up from practice. And just by chance, I picked him up, and the instructor at that time was like, hey, can you try this? So I tried it, and she goes, and that's how it started. So it was an accident. It wasn't by intent to start Ori Tahiti, and ever since that day with Namenzo.
You wouldn't regret about that accident, right?
I do not regret the accident at all. It's one of those, it was meant to be, the timing was right, and I have no regrets.
And when does your inspirations come from dancing?
Before having my daughter, my inspiration came from my dancers, or dancers that I worked with. Just watching them evolve and grow, that's what inspired me to continue to create. Since my daughter's birth, she's my legacy, so every day I wake up, her name is given by my papa in Tahiti, so it's a reminder every day to create something new and to continue to inspire my dancers. And they still inspire me. My dancers are still a part of it, but my daughter is my legacy, so that will be my reminder forever.
Yeah. As we all know about it, but we have heard that the dancing, like, we know that aparima means like a song telling with your hands.
Yes.
And that won't be possible without a dancer who performs that song. So what are the main topics you like to share, or to share the story with not only the judges but the people who is able to watch a show of you? And you have to have a connection with the people who's watching your show. And what are the main topics you like to talk about in the culture or the dancing?
As I'm dancing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Both. As a dancer and as a
teacher,
choreographer. Yes.
Okay. So as a dancer, I find it's always a challenge. You have to be vulnerable as a dancer to be able to share it's like sharing a piece of your heart with a total stranger. So you have to be able to accept that what you are giving is full, and you don't want to keep. You don't want to give just a little bit. That's for me. That's my experience. You always want to give all, because when somebody watches you, they can understand or connect or feel more connected to you if you exude all, like all of yourself. As a choreographer, I express the same technique with my dancers. When you do your motion, you have an intent behind that motion. You have a translation behind that motion. And with that translation comes, how does it make you feel? So I encourage my dancers, and when I choreograph a piece, that when I choreograph, I am choreographing from my heart. So when I teach it to someone else, I express to them that they need to give it from their heart when they dance it. So I don't know if that answers the question.
You're not singing, you're not drumming, you're performing, you're dancing.
So you only have this, right? You only
have your hands,
body.
you have your feet, you have your hips, you have use all your body to share this message
without speaking. Yes.
So the eyes tells a whole lot of story with only a side, right? It's like
with a different look or a raise of your eyebrow. It just changes the way the audience perceives what in that story you are telling. So
they will notice if you if you're telling lies while you're dancing, right?
Sometimes you can see it. I've seen it on dancers before when they perform, like, oh, maybe she's not having a good night tonight. You know, like it doesn't feel like she's giving everything. So it's noticeable. So I encourage dancers to, you know, even if it's hard, you have to just be vulnerable and allow yourself to give from your heart.
Yeah. And talking about that, what would you recommend to a new dancer that is interested in starting in this world? That it's new at this.
Brand new.
Yeah.
One, don't be afraid to try. Take it step by step. Be confident in your body, because Ori Tahiti is a dance that it's about your body. The dance is about the woman's body. So you have to be confident, and if you're not confident yet, allow yourself to learn and to know that it's okay if today I don't feel good in it, because maybe tomorrow I'll feel a little bit better.
Embrace it.
Yeah.
Just continue to push forward, even if it feels not natural. That there will be a day where it's going to feel natural and you're going to remember back when you started and think, that's not how I felt.
Yes.
I didn't want to be in that costume. And I say these things because that was me.
Okay.
I was that dancer of, you want me to wear what? There's no cover, you know, so it's a personal, right? It's a personal growth in everybody, that you have to learn to be comfortable in your own skin, no matter what kind of dance you're doing. And from that, you grow and you evolve and you gain confidence, knowledge, and everything else.
Yeah. Okay. All the different types of dance are beautiful. I don't want to be rude at any of them at all, but it's pretty important for a Ori Tahiti dancer to be able to share a message with their hands, with their feet, and with their movements.
Mm-hmm.
And how is the process to create a new choreograph? Well, I mean, if you're not the drummer, but you have to make a connection through the music, so as with the dance, how is the process to create them and to make them match on the way so the music and the dance can share the correct story? Yeah.
For me, my process is to, it's a family unit, so we talk about what maybe our next project is, whether it's in OTA or Apurima. We decide that first, and then from there, if it's in OTA, then we have to decide, okay, what is the pehe?
Yeah.
What is the drum beat? How will it start? And my preference and how we run things is that the pehe has to come first. Or if it doesn't come first, I need to know what the pehe is, so that when I'm choreographing, when the drumming is finally in place, it's like the puzzle, right?
Yeah.
It'll meet itself together. And the same goes for the apurima. It's just the apurima, you can have music, or you can, normally we go with a recording for a little bit, and then Chris will do it live. And normally the recording and the live, we choose something that is close to how it will be live, and then we make the final puzzle piece that way. And apurima, it's translated lyrics to choreograph, so you are telling the story.
Yeah.
OTA, you have to have your tumuparo or your theme before you can even start to create. So you're literally writing your own story from the beginning to the end.
And talking about that, what has been the meaning of dancing in your life?
Yeah, dancing for me is life. It's what allows my blood to continue to flow. Like I said, I've been doing it since I was a little kid, 8 years old. my mom would take me to hula classes, and in my first years I would always cry, come home and cry because it was so hard. And since then, because I continued it, I feel like my growth in Ori Tahiti has been similar struggles, because it's a new style of dance. It's not hula, and the structure was different and the training is different. But it literally, it's what makes my life happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your passion.
Yes, beyond passion.
Yeah.
It's like
something that
it's like your
you can
air.
measure.
You know, it's like your oxygen that you need to live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't do it, you feel bad.
Yeah. Yes.
You feel sick.
Yes. If you
Yeah,
tell
I
me
know.
take a break, I have to be sick. Like
Yeah,
literally
I know.
not be able to move.
Like
and,
dying, yeah,
yes,
I know.
And then I will be on break.
Maybe
Maybe.
you're going to be okay.
My body might be on break, but my brain not on break.
Yeah, it's,
Yeah, it would be
it's some sort
constantly
of
going.
stress free and
Yes, like a therapy.
yeah,
Yes.
therapy. That's the word I was looking
Yeah.
for. Thank you. How is it that, I mean, you're a mother, you are an Ori dance studio director. You have a lifestyle that not many people have. So how is it that you make it? How is a normal day at your life? I mean, how tomorrow's Monday and you're leaving to your home. How do you prepare your week so you can have the practice, the task of being a mother, the task of being a wife, the task of having the studio? How is a normal day at your life?
For me, a normal day of my life is,
I don't sleep.
Barely.
no. First is I'm a mom, so that is the first thing that I prepare in my day is my daughter, and then I have to go to work. I have a regular full-time job, and I have to be there and then come home and then be a mom again. And in that process, my travels to and from work, it's kind of like my time where I can think about choreography, I can think about music. If I'm still finishing maybe an otea or aprima, I have choreography going through my head as I make my commute to and from work. When I return home from work, I'm a mom again. And I do the mom thing, the cleaning of the house, the preparing a dinner if I have that time, and all the ingredients to make a dinner at that time. And we are fortunate to have many hands to help us, that I have someone that can come and help me with my daughter while I go to school to teach.
Yeah.
And without those hands, it would be maybe a little bit harder to do than now. But after school, after teaching Ohinaro Nui, I come back home. I'm a mom and wife again.
Yeah.
And we
Multitask.
yes, you multitask and you call it a night and you rinse and repeat.
Yeah, if there's a little bit of time, you have a sleep.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That's it.
And talking about that rush of your life, what do you want to leave as a legacy of dancing in your life?
My legacy dream is to leave my daughter with not only mine and myself and my husband's experience through the culture, but for her to write her own culture, her own experiences. We can give her what we know, we can give our students what we know, but it means more to both of us when someone reaches their next pinnacle, their peak, that we help them to that journey. So the legacy of the group, legacy of our family, it's above all for immediate is definitely our daughter. That's our legacy, but Ohinaro Nui is not just me, my husband, and my daughter.
Yeah.
Ohinaro Nui is a family bonded group. My dancers, my musicians.
Your temple.
Yes, everyone is important.
Yeah.
And that legacy, I hope, will continue. Whether it's with Ohinaro Nui or if it grows from Ohinaro Nui to another
Their
school.
own way.
Yeah, either way, that's my legacy, is to make sure everyone knows it's a community and family.
Okay.
Is there any, you don't need to know them, but you might know them. Is there any dancer or choreographer, not only Ori Tahiti or hula dancer, that you admire, and there can be a reason why you admire them? So that's why I'm saying you might not know him or know her, but what is your admiration looking at of that singer, or not singer, I'm sorry, a dancer or choreographer?
Who do I admire?
Yeah.
I have many Ori Tahiti dancers or teachers that I admire. Like I said, my start was about 2004, 2005 with Namenzo, and the instructor, Nini, the instructor of Namenzo, Nini, was a big part of my life and a big part of my inspiration. And I admire her. I admire her as an instructor and her ability to create amazing things with choreography. From her, you know, the Tahitian culture has always been in my life with my husband. It just wasn't as active because I'm not Tahitian, so I didn't start there. So the next step after being in Namenzo would be the people in Tahiti. The family that adopted me is my admiration, but when it came to dance, it was the Conservatoire de Tahiti. Mommy Louise, who has since passed, has been a big push and admiration as an instructor, how she taught and how she encouraged dancers. And from her, I admire a lot of dancers, purely just because I love how they do things. But I feel more connected with maybe the foundation, teachers who inspire me, I admire their way of teaching that has encouraged my growth in dancing.
Okay.
How is the conservatoire teaching? I mean, they have the knowledge of all of your past ancients, and they know the meaning, how it was created, what does every single move of your steps means, and how is it to be capable and to have that honor to be dancing to them, with them, and to be learning things that not everybody like us have the opportunity to. And what can you share with us about having that opportunity with the conservatoire?
The conservatoire is a big part of our decision to open our own school.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an opportunity, and I want everyone to know that opportunity is not, it's not selective. It's not only by invitation. Since they've opened their international program, I always encourage people to always go, because if it's not your culture, you should learn from the source.
Yeah.
You know, and they have their teachings is hard, but it has helped and pushed myself to be a better dancer, to be more grounded, as they like to say, have your feet feel the ground beneath you, know your motion from there. It has been an overall amazing experience to be a part of the conservatoire family for many years, with the dance, with the rohipehe, with now the dancers have opportunity for himene. Before we didn't have that opportunity, but it's an important part of my life is to keep the conservatoire at the forefront for my dancers and any other dancers that ask questions of me. I always encourage that.
Talking about that experience of learning there, we know that nothing is perfect, and so can you tell us a funny moment on the stage?
For the conservatoire?
No,
or learning in general?
Or learning, or
performing?
in a show, or performing on Heiwa.
That you can share.
Yeah.
Story you can share, and don't feel like pushed to tell us something that you might not be sharing with us, but I know. Lee,
People can hear.
Yeah.
Okay. I had an experience in the Heiwa that how do I say this? You spend a lot of time preparing for the Heiwa, and it's a lot of pressure because you have an expectation on you as an outsider coming in. And so for myself, I'm always trying to make sure that I meet that expectation. But like you said, mistakes happen.
Yeah.
I remember one Heiwa that we did, we were making our costume change in the back for the next set. And I remember a lot of yelling, of course in French and Tahitian, so I didn't really quite understand, but other dancers around us were like, hurry up, you have to go. And the costume is not even on yet.
Oh.
So we are just grabbing, those costume pieces, and thankfully the lights the lights were off once we got to the side, so it gave us time to make sure everything was attached. But could you imagine if the lights were on?
No.
And everybody could see?
The show must go on.
Yeah, but it's very like your heart just keeps beating because you have this expectation in your head, and you're like, oh my God, I'm not even wearing the same bra as everybody else. So could have been a bigger nightmare.
But thankfully it wasn't.
Thankfully it wasn't. And thankfully the pictures prove that it wasn't.
Yeah. And so as the watchers.
Right.
But people, dancers, I used to dance Ori Tahiti, and I'm not going to share a funny story about me dancing, but we all have had mistakes, but some people may not want to get back to the stage or to the dancing or to the rehearsal because there's something they don't get to do, some step or some movement or some drumming or some peje
or a costume falls
or
off.
costume. Yeah, that's that's another thing that happens. But what can you share to them so they can get confident about getting back to the Ori Tahiti? Because it's not because I'm a performer or a drummer or a dancer, but I love it as a culture.
Mm-hmm.
And what can you share a few words to them so they can be being part of this again?
You just have to get back up. You have to get back up and remember it was just that moment. Maybe people might remember it for a long time, but it was just that moment, and you can replace that moment with something better. So you get back up, try again. If it was an embarrassing moment, it happened. You can't erase it. You will forever have a memory of it, but you can make a new memory with something more positive, and mistakes happen. You can't control everything.
Yeah, that act will not define you.
Correct. It's just the moment.
Yeah. Wonderful words. Wonderful words. We're almost done with this talking about your studio, your life, your dancers. Leaving behind the pandemic, what's next for your life? What's next on your projects? What's coming up next for competitions, for shows, for traveling? What's next to you?
Next for us is to definitely get back into group competition or in-person competition, period. Living a virtual life competition has been very challenging for a lot of dancers. So the first would be to get back into an in-person competition.
Yeah.
California is slowly opening back up with their in-person, and that will hopefully be the first. If not, maybe we're coming back to Guadalajara for an in-person competition.
That'll be an honor. We feel so grateful to be having you and your family here with us again. It's been such an amazing weekend. We had so many expectations, and thankfully every single one of them were like we just imagined to. I mean, such an stress before, during. These are our last hours with you guys in here, and we would love to go and share more of Ori Tahiti at your place, at your studio.
Yes.
And of course, we would love to have you here to make some connections and some dancing and some drumming as well.
Yes.
Where can we find more about your studio, about you, the social media, the web? Where can we find your studio at, and how can people know about your studio so they can practice? They can practice, as I know, online and at the studio as well, right?
Yes, in person and virtual.
Thank you. How can we know about them?
Our website, ohinaronui.com, has everything current on when our next open class session is, and we're always open. We don't have a specific period that we open registration. It's forever open registration.
Okay.
So you can visit us on our website. All that information for our classes, virtual and in person, are there. Follow us on Instagram, ohinaronui, as well as Facebook.
Yeah.
Follow me personally.
I don't know.
If you want.
If you want to, you can only share the Ori Tahiti studio.
No, I'm just
page.
kidding. You can find me on Instagram, Mrs. Des Lee or Desiree Woodward Lee, as well as Facebook, Desiree Woodward Lee.
Thank you. And for the people who's just about to push the button below to your link of your studio, they're gonna send a message that they knew about your studio thanks to us, because they're sharing this video a lot.
Yes.
And is there any kind of special prize or someone to reach you through this podcast
A special price?
or something?
Sure. I don't know what I would.
I don't know why not.
Yeah, I don't know why not.
You don't have to tell us right now, but there's going to be one.
I will create one. We'll figure it out.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're gonna do this, and that'll be it for today. We would love to have a second part of a second episode with you, so we can be talking about the personal rehearsals, the personal shows, competitions as well, and maybe we can talk about the creation of a new show, the creation of a new competition show, so people can know more about the process of creation to one of them, choreograph, and that'll be it for today. Thanks again for your time. Thanks again for being here with us, for sharing all this knowledge and words. Thanks for trust us. Trust us to be here with us. Is there anything do you think we didn't talk about you want to share with us?
I think you guys covered a good amount of stuff.
Thank you.
Thank you. Maruru e maruru roa. And yeah, I look forward to the next one.
Thank you.
Thanks.
That'll be it. And in Spanish, please. Mark, I'm with you.
Bueno, muchas gracias por estar con nosotros compartiendo con Desiree toda esta parte del conocimiento, la experiencia como bailarina. Y pues están todos los botones, como dice Luis, a la derecha, a la izquierda, arriba, abajo. Le pican a todos, por favor, lo comparten, lo descomparten, lo critican. Todo eso nos ayuda mucho a crecer. Y pues vamos a seguir reportándonos con ustedes en las próximas semanas con más capítulos de esta cultura tan amplia y tan hermosa que estamos compartiendo.
Nos vemos, chaito, arigato, merci, Yorana, and Marurua, and that'll be it. Bye.